expect a lot of disagreement, unless when I post them on Twitter and we watching the stream, and I certainly absolutely expect a lot of disagreement. The top five, I really, really stand on as far as being elite guys in the league. The bottom five, it was hard. It's really hard to pick five guys there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes as far as that is with top 10. So here we go with our top 10 list here. All right, here we go.
Look at this. Wow, what a transformation. When Justin and I rolled up, these palms were so big, you couldn't see the front of the house. The roof was terrible. Yeah, the paint colored like a weird mauve. It was just ugly.
All right, here we go. Number 10 for the Bucks is the guy who has the most, I think, probably automatic 1,000-yard season every year, Mike Evans. I think you look at the success that Baker Mayfield is having. It's certainly due to the fact that Mike Evans is there and that good receiving core they had. Look, they have a good group of receivers there, but Mike Evans is still the alpha in the room. Missed some games. Maybe he's not the player he was, but you can book 1,000 yards. Great length, great leadership there as well. He's definitely going to get his opportunities there as well. I think Mike Evans is top 10, uber consistent. I believe this in football and in life too. Like, if you're good enough for a long time, you're great. If that makes sense. Like, at no point maybe was Mike Evans the number one receiver in the NFL, but he's been so good for so long. Definitely got Mike Evans worthy of a top 10. Number 9, Puka Nacua. Not as many yards last year because of the injury, but this guy is going to be super dominant going forward as a wide receiver. They definitely signed Devontae Adams, but this guy, like, even missing in so many games last year, it was like 990 yards, almost 1,000 yards, even with missing so many games. So Nacua, I think, is really, really does everything well. Everything I could see. Great hands. He's not a hands guy. He's got great hands. He's not a speed guy, and he's not a size guy. He's a combination of all those things. Every time I've seen him, he's just so dominant on the end. So I think it's just a matter of keeping him healthy. Guy got picked late, really got overlooked by a lot of teams. So Nacua, number 5, he's definitely going to get those deep opportunities with Matt Stafford on his team. They're going to throw the ball deep, absolutely. Number 9, Puka Nacua. Brian Thomas of the Jaguars. I think a lot of NFL fans are sleeping on how good Brian Thomas is. I'm not going to call him Larry Fitzgerald yet in terms of hands and everything, but I think Brian Thomas is an outstanding receiver. 87 receptions, 112, 82, 10 touchdowns. Also elected the Pro Bowl as a rookie. I think we've just seen the start. I think if you're trying to get Trevor Lawrence right in Jacksonville, you get a guy like Brian Thomas to get him right. This is where you look. You look to number 7, the throw the football, kind of like Nacua too, not just one thing. He does a lot of things well. He's got good size. The question in the draft, could he operate with that with guys around him with the attention? Certainly there's no more to that. Absolutely Brian Thomas as well. He's going to have Travis Hunter on his team as well to actually go ahead and help him out. I like that as well when you have another good receiver there. So Brian Thomas, I think, number 8. Terry McLaurin has been so underrated for so long. I'm not going to leave Terry McLaurin off the list anymore. I think you look at Jayden Daniels and his development, you look at how good Terry McLaurin is. Fantastic in the red zone, Terry McLaurin. Great in tight areas, great in the goal line area, great in the short, great. All hands are outstanding. Speed, route running, I think, is top shelf. Not a Tyreek Hill or something like that with super fantastic speed, but definitely consistent. Definitely guy getting the job done consistently over time. Terry McLaurin, I think, is really, really severely been underrated throughout his career. I see him on the overrated list, and I don't know where that comes from. Ever. Like, all he does is make great catches as well. 1096 last year, had 13 touchdowns. Fantastic stuff, I think. Terry McLaurin, I'm absolutely putting him in the top 10 with that outstanding quarterbacking they're going to have in Washington. Number 6, Malik Neighbors. You talk about how good Brian Thomas' hands was. Malik Neighbors has sensational hands. Complete package as a rookie. I think the bigger beef with him, why he's not in the top 5, is I don't know if he's going to have any good quarterbacking really to showcase himself like some of these other guys. I mean, he's going to have Russell Wilson. I mean, they're talking about Jackson Dart starting. You know, I don't know. Is that even with that 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns? Malik Neighbors is the goods. I mean, he's the real deal. I think definitely here's the guy you're going to pencil him in for 1,400 yards if the quarterbacking can get right. But even in the midst of all, it was kind of like Saquon Barkley I saw with the Giants years before. In the midst of all their problems, definitely Malik Neighbors, you can absolutely see how good Malik Neighbors is as well. Number 5, now we got some names we know for sure. CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, again, worried about the quarterbacking here. In Dallas. We know how good Prescott has been. Can you keep him healthy? 1,700 yards in 2023, down to almost like 1,200. He's had every year in his NFL career, he's had over 900 yards, almost 1,300 yards, almost 1,200 yards last year. CeeDee Lamb is easy a number 1 receiver as well. This guy's great speed. I think his speed is very underrated. He definitely runs away from people. Guys, when he gets the ball in space, guys do not catch CeeDee Lamb as well. He's good in traffic as well. Kind of underrated in traffic. I think to be so good, he doesn't really pop your eyes out all the time in terms of areas, but he's very, very consistent as well. This is exactly what he needs. Interesting to see, again, how it goes with Pickens with him in Dallas. How that's going to go as well. Pickens mad about catching the football. Good luck trying to get Prescott to look at somebody else besides CeeDee Lamb as good as CeeDee Lamb is. I'm sorry, wrong way. Number 4. Yeah. That's number 3. Number 4. What is going on? Management appreciate your cooperation. All right. Number 4. Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown, I think, again, considering the profile of receivers, I think he's a little bit underrated. Very, very dominant as a receiver. This is a run offense, but I think like the way he's played, it's been really, really enabled for the Lions to go ahead and elevate their play. You look at his career, almost 5,000 yards, 34 touchdowns already. Last season, he had 1,200 yards, 115 receptions, second in the NFL, top 5, I think, in everything. I think you look at the stats, and I think like sometimes I think this guy is underrated, but he's definitely a speedster burner as well. He's definitely, anytime he has the football in his hands, he's going to take it all the way. He has that type of ability to take it all the way. Definitely like him in traffic as well. Good receivers are great. Catch the ball not only in space, but with guys around him. St. Brown absolutely does that. Number 4, I think he's the 4th best receiver in the entire NFL. I saw somebody say that A.J. Brown was overrated. I don't know what they're watching. He certainly wasn't as good last year, for sure. I think that's true. I mean, before that, 1,400 yards, I think almost 1,500 yards, 2 consecutive years. I think it was down. I think he missed a few games, not as many catches. But A.J. Brown, I think, is a force multiplier. I think there is a guy you do not take 50-50 balls from A.J. Brown. I think this is the guy, I think, as much as anybody in the league, as I want with the 50-50 ball. So he's going to run away from you. He's going to run it in traffic. But if there's, it doesn't matter to me if you're a quarterback at Jalen Hurts, if there's a DB on him, he's going to get it. Fairly confident in A.J. Brown. I think there seems to be some friction with him and Hurts. So we do need to keep an eye on that. I think that is a thing with him and Hurts, and there seems to be friction there, but I'm not worried about that. Like, he is outstanding as well. Number 2, we know who the number 2 is. Justin Jefferson of the Vikings. I think this guy is a man amongst boys, a beast. Justin Jefferson, he's just the name I've had for him. He's just a cheat code. Too big, too strong, too fast, too powerful, great hands. It doesn't. He's to the point. We talk about neighbors and opportunities to get. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who it is. He's going to get 1,500 yards regardless. Doesn't matter if you throw it in the dirt. He's going to get it. He's got tremendous hands. The total measurables of him, I think, is better than any other player. This is like Calvin Johnson reincarnated. So I think nothing not to like. He did have an injury last year, so that's a bit of a concern. Only reason I have him at 2 is Jamar Chase. I think is in his own planet. I think as well. I cannot overlook the value with him and Joe Burrow. Can't do it. The way they play together, I think, is fantastic. And I think Chase, the only thing that's kept him away from 1,700 yards consistently is the fact that he has had some injuries and everything. So, but I think Jamar Chase, number 1 receiver in the NFL. So there you go. Jamar Chase is the number 1 receiver in the NFL. I think it's the top 5 are pretty much the top 5. I mean, if you want to say, I'm having a hard time finding 5 that the bottom 5, if you want to argue, there's an argue. I think the top 5 is pretty clear right now in the NFL. Those guys at the top.